Now, I'm pretty sure a lot of you have heard of this, but there's this interesting theory out there about how the Arachnus could be related to the Metroids. Of course, not evolutionarily related, because the Metroids are artificial creatures, but could it be possible that the Chozos used Arachnus as a genetic template to use Arachnus' DNA and modified it to help create the Metroids? It's gonna be a short video, because the idea is pretty straightforward, but I do hope you enjoy regardless. So tell me your thoughts in the comment section, as well as subscribe if you like Metroid content, and let's get started. So the idea is, with the release of Samus Returns, we were given updated art of Arachnus and the Metroids, and looking at both Arachnus and the various Metroid forms, we can see some very striking similarities. The Metroids develop green segmented armor, similar to Arachnus. The Metroids develop a tube-like mouth, similar to Arachnus. The Metroids develop jagged, bony claws, similar to Arachnus. The Metroids develop a fire-breathing attack, similar to Arachnus. Looking at Arachnus, it looks like it would fit after the Gamma Metroid mutation or before the Omega Metroid mutation when we're looking at the life cycle. With Samus Returns giving us the most recent interpretations of these creatures, it's hard to say that the similarities are just coincidental, especially when the original game's art didn't really make these two creatures look similar. And when you really think about it, it would make sense for the Chozo to use Arachnus as a genetic base. When the Chozos created the Metroids, they needed the Metroids to not only hunt down the X-Parasites, but also be able to survive SR-388's tough environment. Instead of wasting time, energy, resources, experimenting with different creatures from different planets to see if they'll survive an SR-388, why not use a creature already living on the planet in the first place? So out of all the creatures that can survive an SR-388, why specifically choose Arachnus? Well, not only can Arachnus live on the planet's harsh environment, but it's also strong enough and durable enough to have a fighting chance against the X. It is the only organic creature tough enough to be considered a boss in Samus Returns. Arachnus had the potential. The Chozo just needed to modify the DNA, repress some unnecessary traits, and such to make the most efficient predator. The mature larval Metroids don't look anything like Arachnus, but the unpredicted mutations seem to have activated the repressed genetic traits hidden within its DNA. The repressed traits that we talked about earlier having striking similarities with Arachnus. I also got two minor points to bring up, but they're really flimsy when I really think about it, but I just wanted to add it in real quick. Arachnus' name implies some sort of insectoid, arachnid-like characteristics, despite it looking more like an armadillo. And the Metroids do look pretty insectoid, especially the beginning mutations like Alpha and Gamma Metroids. So maybe there's a connection with that, as well as the fact that Arachnus, again, being able to survive in SR-38's environment, was able to survive with a planet infested of Metroids. It could be possible that the Metroids never attacked Arachnus or never hunted it down because they just didn't see Arachnus as a threat. They probably saw Arachnus as one of their own, but that point's pretty flimsy when you really think about it. But yeah, that's just a theory. Arachnus being related to the Metroids because the Chozo used its DNA to create the Metroids. What do you guys think? Did you like the theory? Is there anything else you want to add on to it or something? Whatever you feel free to leave in the comment section below. I already know there's already a couple other ideas out there. I know it could be just a case of convergent evolution where two completely different creatures just develop similar traits because they just so happen to be efficient, which honestly might be the actual right answer. Another idea out there is that Arachnus is a failed prototype of the Metroids. The Chozo just let them loose. They all died but like one or two, and now they just went back and created the Metroids. It's a bunch of speculation and a bunch of theory crafting because we don't really know too much about what's in the Metroid's DNA in the first place, so we probably would never get an answer to it, but it's still cool to just speculate and think about this sort of stuff. Regardless though, if you like Metroid content, please feel free to click on the video above. It's a video where we explain Meta Ridley, talking about his backstory, his lore, his creation, a bunch of stuff about the character, to try to clear up some confusion about who this cyborg space dragon really is. So I hope you check that out. And with that being said, I'm the Metroid Trainer. Hope you like, favorite, subscribe, and have an amazing new year, because I'll be seeing you later.